and gentlemen, all rise. Court is finally back in session. Welcome to another exciting episode, and mostly sickness-free, of The Devil's Due. I am your host, Carl Duty. With me, as always, is a man who doesn't always remember to breathe out of his eyelids, but when he does, he throws some wicked hard cheese. Mr. Drew Celestino.
What is that reference?
You ever see Bull Durham?
It's been a long time ago.
All right. Well, baseball season starting.
Baseball?
I am not.
I like Major League.
I don't make a point to watch baseball.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily follow it. Some of my closer friends are big baseball fans. My friend Jim, huge Red Sox fan. But I love baseball movies.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's fair.
Strange. So,
yeah, I guess I would say the same.
Yeah.
Mr. Baseball.
Yeah, that one, not so much.
Okay. Angels in the Outfield.
No.
Okay. Rookie of the Year.
No.
I love that one.
No, I'm talking like, obviously you mentioned Major League.
Yes.
The Natural.
Okay.
Bull Durham.
Okay.
League of Their Own.
Yeah, it's just
Sandlot.
these are quality. Sure.
I don't I have not attempted to watch Field of Dreams since my father's passing. I don't think
I wouldn't recommend
I
it.
don't think I'll be able to. I mean, I probably could. I'm going to need the entire box of tissues. I might not even bother just taking them out of the box. I'll just stick my face right in the box and just let it go. Sir, we are back.
Yes.
It seems every once in a while we get just struck by the plague.
Yeah, it goes around, and then it comes around.
And stuff happens. So let's stand on some ceremony. Sir, how was your weeks? You had a lot of stuff going on this past weekend.
It's been very busy. Let's see. You had the plague last week.
No.
In case you can't tell.
No, I did not have the plague last week.
Oh.
Because Jay asked me at work, he's like, are you sick? You were fine. Yes. It was actually William last week. Got an ear infection. Yes. As I was about to, because traffic was really, really bad coming out of work. And I was about to text Julie and be like, you know what? I'm just going to go straight to Drew's house. And right before I texted her, she texted me, William's got a really bad ear infection. I'm taking him to the doctor. So I'm like, oh, okay. I will meet you there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the week before.
I feel like you did have the plague.
That was, the week before I got hit by it pretty hard and fast.
Yeah.
And it was kind of starting Tuesday night. Wednesday, I'd come home with a 101 degree temperature from work.
No bueno.
And I'm on a new hire probationary period to where I can't miss any work because they can let you go with no reason. So I walked into her. I'm just like, honey, you're gonna have to take one for the team. I have to go to bed now. Yes, and I did. I was in bed at 5:45 and slept till woke up here and there odd times, but it was pretty much 12 hours sleep.
That happened to me in January.
Yeah. So, but your weeks.
Oh, so, well, as you can tell, I picked up a little souvenir from New York over the weekend, and that would be this cold that I'm nursing right now. So
sounds like
it's glorious. So my weekend was fantastic. It was WrestleMania weekend, and I went to New York City, not for WrestleMania, which was awesome. So
WrestleMania itself was awesome, or the fact that you went to New York City?
The fact that I went to New York City for not WrestleMania is a point of pride for me.
Gotcha.
No, I went mainly for the NJPW Ring of Honor G1 Supercard. Okay. And that was on Saturday, and that was everything you could have hoped it would be. And
was it a super card?
For the most part.
Okay.
It was also a fair bit of stuff that no one really wanted to see.
Such as?
Ring of Honor.
I gotcha. Yeah.
I kid, but not really. The divide in popularity of the talent and the quality of the work presented between the two companies' matches and the presentation and everything else could not have been more stark. And NJPW came off looking like a big deal, first-class organization in Madison Square Garden, in a sold-out Madison Square Garden, for the crowd that was clearly there to see NJPW.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor, yeah, they were there, but they were the also-ran. And the way they laid out their stuff in the show illustrated why they are the also-ran.
Were they kind of like the opening act?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, they interspersed matches, but how they book things and as to what went down on the show, and like how their stuff came off versus how New Japan does things and how their stuff came off, night and day.
Wow.
Night and day. So, I don't have a lot of good things to say about the New Japan Ring of Honor partnership, but it is what it is. Still had a great time because the matches NJPW put on were still tremendous. Will Ospreay and Jeff Cobb had a great match. Naito and Kota Ibushi had a match of the night, probably match of the weekend, possibly. Incredible match. They almost killed each other several times. I love both those guys.
Like one is to do in NJPW.
Well, if you're certain people, yes. I love those guys. But, man, one or both of them is going to be in a world of hurt sooner than later if they don't slow down. Match was excellent, but I had my head in my hands at several times because the bumps they were taking were just scary. Like, landing right on their necks and heads. Like, dude.
Gotcha.
Like, hey, as long as they get up, cool, right? But when these guys are like 45 and they can't move their head, it's going to be a problem. So, in any case, excellent match of the night for sure. And obviously, the highlight of the weekend, our Lord and Savior Kazuchika Okada entering Madison Square Garden to challenge for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship against Jay White. And Okada was over like you would not believe. Crowd firmly behind Okada, chanting his name. MSG sold out. That guy is a superstar. That guy is a rock star. He will single-handedly carry NJPW on his shoulders across the world. He's that over. And he put out a great match, and he won the title. So
nice.
It's a pretty big deal. I got to see a IWGP Heavyweight title change. That's big. That's very big.
That's pretty sweet.
So that was awesome. Excellent.
So let me ask you this. AEW is going to be a thing.
Yes.
Once they get up and running.
Yes.
How long for this world would you say Ring of Honor is?
They'll get by for a little while. They're backed by Sinclair Broadcasting, so they've got money, but they're hemorrhaging talent, and they don't seem to be supplementing it with new good talent.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't know what their plan is going forward. Based on what I saw Saturday, they're not on the level. They are not on the level. And that's a company that prided themselves on being the anti-WWE since their inception, in that it was all based on the wrestling, the quality of the wrestling. That's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
Now they still have some guys that are good, but compared to NJPW, not even close.
Is the quality of wrestling because they can't draw the talent to them?
The talent's leaving.
Is it
the Elite left? Young Bucks left. Hangman Page left. WWE has historically snatched up all their best guys that are now in WWE. They're almost like a feeder system, but the guys they have now are just not as popular. No one cares about them. I don't know. I don't know. AEW might be their reckoning. Ultimately, maybe it's for the best. I don't know. I don't know. But I would much rather see NJPW partner with AEW than ROH at this point.
Gotcha.
Just from a quality of work standpoint. But anyway, whatever. It was a super fun show. The night before that, I went to the Joey Ryan Penis Party. That's a wrestling show, by the way.
Okay.
It was awesome. It was super fun. Joey Ryan, you can Google him and his moveset. Is a very over indie wrestler, and he put on this show at WrestleCon. And it was mostly comedy matches, but just super fun, exactly what I thought it was going to be, and more. And I had a great time. So big ups to Joey Ryan. As Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix were there. They were the main event against Taya and Johnny Mundo. Awesome match. Super great. I got a really cool Pentagon shirt for $20.
Was that match played for laughs or
no?
Okay.
No. They were serious as a heart attack. So that was good. It was great. Yeah, I had a super fun weekend. And then Sunday, the day of WrestleMania, I came home to watch WrestleMania at home with my friends. One of our friends went to WrestleMania, and man, you got to be committed to go to WrestleMania now. Like, it's a 7-hour show.
Good Lord.
It's a 7-hour show. And that doesn't even include your commute. Getting in and out of the building, parking. Ugh. It's madness. It's too long. The show is too long.
Where was it held?
MetLife Stadium in Jersey. Okay. The Giants Stadium. Too long. Watch from the comfort of the couch. Not so bad.
Yeah.
But God, if you're there, that's like 2 meals. You're looking at like meals, drinks, bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
That's a big ask, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot to ask of anybody. And I guess there was massive transit failures. The Jersey Transit Authority is blaming WWE, saying we didn't know the show was going to go that late, so all of our drivers and conductors and stuff were all like at their federally mandated time limits. So people were stranded out there at the stadium for like hours because
Uber and Lyft drivers were probably
they were slammed too.
Wow.
They were over capacity. Thousands of people stranded at the stadium for hours.
Wow,
what a debacle!
That's crazy.
Yeah, Mania was fine. It was fine.
So as much as you're kind of detaching from WWE, do you still feel like that's the one thing you'll still kind of sit down and watch every year?
Yes, but only because of the people I watch it with.
Okay.
Like I watch it with my friends. It's a big communal day, and I'm happy to watch it with them. It's fun. You know, the matches. There were really no standout matches on the show. Nothing excelled in any real way. There was great moments in the show, but nothing majorly memorable. Kofi Kingston won the title from Daniel Bryan. That's awesome because he is. Let me think now. I'm fairly confident in saying he's the first African American to win the WWE title.
Does The Rock count?
That's the iffy part, because his father, while yes black, was Canadian, I think. So
yeah,
it's semantics, yes, but Kofi Kingston first and part of a great arc leading up to it. Honestly, I will give them credit. This was a rare occurrence of WWE steering into what the fans actually wanted. Over the last few months, Kofi got over in a big way, by accident, mind you. And the guy's been he's a veteran. He's been in that company for 11 years, and they buried him about it. He had a moment about 9 years ago where he was starting to get hot, and they buried him out of nowhere. They just buried him into the ground, and he's kept his mouth shut, hung around. He's had a great career, and suddenly got hot again, and they wrote it, and he won the title. So
nice.
From Daniel Bryan, it was great. It was super awesome. I'm really happy for him. I'm genuinely happy for a guy in WWE. He deserves it. It's rare that chant means anything, but Kofi Kingston actually does deserve the title. And the women main evented, which was a big deal because that's again never happened, and it probably won't happen again. Not because of anything they did, just I know how the company operates.
Yeah.
But good for Becky Lynch. They put her over in a big way. Once again, the company steering into what people actually wanted for a change.
Yeah.
Colored me surprised. However, everything else on the card was pretty much predictable. And guys that I want to leave have every reason to still want to leave based on what I saw at WrestleMania.
Gotcha.
So it was fine, but it couldn't hold a candle to the quality of wrestling I saw on Saturday night. So, it is what it is. WWE's best product is still NXT, and that was on Friday night. And by all accounts, I haven't watched it yet. I've only watched 2 matches from it because I was busy hanging out with Joey Ryan. I've only watched 2 matches from TakeOver so far, and they're great, fantastic. So yeah. Anyway, that really. And now, as you can tell, I brought a souvenir home back from New York. I got sick, so that's my week. That's what's been going on. A lot of wrestling. So, all that being said, how was your week?
My weeks. Well, yeah, obviously haven't been here for 2 weeks.
No.
Bunch of different things going on. First and foremost, Drew, I finally saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
On demand or did you go to the theater? Or?
We rented it off Amazon.
Okay.
So, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah?
Absolutely fantastic.
That's cool.
Is it the best Spider-Man film ever? No.
Okay.
That title is still held by Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
It probably... It's probably in second place, though.
Wow.
Like,
that's
probably is like... Because, I mean, in my as much as I enjoyed Homecoming...
Yeah.
My issues with Homecoming are well documented on this show.
Yes, they are.
And this film is kind of a love letter to Spider-Man fans, and also really full, as if it was, like, I don't think it was before, but I think, like, after this, there's no arguing now that Miles Morales is in the Spider-Man universe. He is like a legitimate part of it. Like, he can't be discounted anymore as the
I got there a long time ago, but
well, no, I know some people do, some people didn't, whatnot. But it's not like between this and the Spider-Man game.
Yeah,
like the character has really grown on me.
Okay.
It's not that I didn't accept him as part of the Spider-Man lore.
But he's new, and it's
just that, like, there wasn't anything there for me.
Okay.
Per se. Like, I read his title for a little while. I'm like, this is fine.
Right.
But it's like, I got my Spider-Man. I'm happy with my Spider-Man. It's fantastic. It is not flawless.
Sure.
I was that because especially with the episode of Daredevil we're going to be talking about in a bit.
Okay.
Their interpretation of Kingpin, I was just like, no.
Well,
visually and voice actingly, it was basically it was visually distracting.
Well, they went with like the Sienkiewicz version, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, and like he kind of like Liev Schreiber, who's great actor, did kind of like a Tony Soprano version of Rosenfisk, and I'm just like, nope.
Well,
nope.
D'Onofrio's shadow looms very large.
D'Onofrio's shadow is inescapable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so great. I finally understand what the bagel guy joke is.
I still don't know. I guess I'll have to watch it.
I'll tell it to you really quick because like it's something that unless you're looking for it specifically, you'll miss it.
Okay.
So like did you see the scene where they're kind of like going through the cafe with all the scientists and whatnot? They've shown that a lot. Okay, so they're breaking in to get like a hard drive, flash drive thing, and it's Peter and Miles, but it's Peter and Miles.
Okay.
And they're in this cafe, and all of a sudden, like, all these scientists are looking at them. And Pierre's just like, act natural, whatnot. Pierre's like, oh, bagel, grab that, whatnot. And then one scientist just like whips out a laser gun and starts blasting at whatnot, and they're running away. It's the scene before they go swinging through the forest.
Okay.
And as they're about to start swinging, Peter turns and throws the bagel at the scientist shooting him, and it lands on his head. It just like, in like an onomatopoeia sound effect, just goes, bagel! I was just like, that's awesome.
Okay.
I love it.
All right.
No like power zap, just goes, bagel!
All right.
It's great. I would highly recommend watching it.
I would like to. So
as
now that
soon
it's
as possible.
Now that it's on Amazon, I can do that. So
what else? Also saw because we showed William Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. I'm still
it's a good movie.
Have you seen it?
The first one, yes. I haven't seen the second one.
Yeah, we the first one, just a fantastic love letter to classic video games.
Yeah.
And then we decided to watch the second one.
How was the second one?
Not as it.
The concept I didn't really think lent itself to the character.
It doesn't have the heart
the
first one has.
Yeah.
Like there are some, funny moments, whatnot, and they steer into, okay, we kind of know this is going to be reference the movie.
Yeah.
And there's some moments where it's, kind of cool what you did there and whatnot. But yeah, it didn't have it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't
great.
It wasn't great.
Okay.
And it definitely lacked the heart the first one had.
Totally fair.
So what else? William and the wife were kind of trading off colds and whatnot. So that was fun. Up until last Thursday, was it? Yeah, no, this past Thursday. It was the first time I had gotten to play X-Wing in like 3 weeks.
And how'd we do?
Oh, we did fine.
Okay.
We did fine.
Okay.
My regular X-Wing night. But yeah, it was just like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm good. Got my fix. I'm good. So yeah, that was cool. And then Saturday, Julie was out doing stuff. She was out with her sister. So I went out with William, and we went to the 80s toy shop on Delaware.
Okay.
I think I may have told you about this once.
This feels like news to me. The 80s toy shop?
The 80s toy shop.
Do they sell 80s toys?
Yes.
Oh.
They sell like, old actually 80s toys and like new stuff based on these properties. So
okay.
A nice mix. I want to stop in there because it's been a hot minute since Dan Larson was on the show.
Yes.
And last time he was on, we sent him a nice little package, and I just, for some reason or other, haven't been able to get around to that. And I wanted to make sure to grab some stuff to get to him, and we stopped in there for that. And when I walked in, they had right at the front of the store. Remember a while back we talked about Hasbro kickstarting the Jabba sail barge?
Yes.
Well, that has since come out.
Okay.
And they have some there at the 80s toy shop.
Yeah.
They have a couple in the box.
Yeah.
And it's cool because the box is that classic Star Wars design, toy design, like the way they photographed it and the art on it. But then they had one on display. And
so does it live up?
Oh, it definitely does.
Okay.
I mean, say what you will about how Hasbro went around doing it. The piece itself is just absolutely incredible. It's like 4 or 5 feet long. And it's got all the stuff in there you'd want it to have. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, if I had a place for it, I would definitely put some money down and, grab some figures.
What does it retail for?
$150.
Okay.
Which isn't horrible. Like, if you saw it on purpose, you would be like, that is a fair price for that.
So speaking of toy prices, I went to the Lego store in Rockefeller Center as well. it's fun. I like Legos, right? We all like Legos. Legos are really expensive.
Yes.
Now,
don't want William to get into Legos.
Yeah, I know. I love Legos when I was a kid, and I'm kind of scared to get Grant into it. But anyway.
Lincoln Logs,
now,
Drew. Lincoln Logs.
Sure.
Just draw Star Wars on that. There you go, Grant. Build the Ewok Village.
They had some really cool sets.
Yes.
And I saw the prices on those sets.
Yes.
Now, here's where it gets weird. One set that was exceptionally cool. Voltron. Defender of the Universe.
Yeah.
Lego. And it's probably a good 12 inches tall.
Yeah.
Maybe taller. And it was around $150.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
Let's call that our baseline.
Gotcha.
$150 for this Voltron. Fair enough. High, but not, let's just call it the baseline.
Yep.
Then I walked over to the... right next to that on display was a Iron Man Hall of Armors set.
Yeah.
I think it was like $80.
Okay.
Hall of Armor, $80. Okay, cool. I'll get to build a Hall of Armor, right?
Yep.
Not bad. Then at the other end of the store, they have the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
And suddenly the prices go up.
Yep.
So the most egregious example being the Millennium Falcon. The Millennium Falcon Lego set. Now, mind you, it is big.
Now, which one are you talking about? Because there's different versions. There's
it's
the standard version, and then there's
it must
the
be
deluxe.
It must be the
like,
deluxe. Now, granted, it's big. I'm sure it has a lot of pieces, but look, be that as it may, Carl, was $800.
Yep,
$800.
Yeah, that's their big super deluxe.
Not on your life.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Star Wars. People are going to pay.
That's ridiculous.
But that's their
That's ridiculous.
Because Julie and I got
ridiculous.
I mentioned my friend Jim on the show. His son Alexander loves Lego, loves Star Wars.
Yes.
So for Christmas, I think it was the year before William was born, we got him the Lego Millennium Falcon, and it was like $80-$90, I think.
Wow. Okay.
But that was just kind of the standard one. So yeah, the one you saw, I know of what you speak, sir.
Dude.
They know that there's people out there who have disposable income and want big stuff like that, so they make big stuff like that and sell it to them.
For that kind of money, no, I'm sorry, no.
Yeah.
No, that's ridiculous. If I'm spending that much money on anything, it better do something.
Yep.
Or or it has to be some kind of tangible object that can I don't like I could buy two moderately priced guitars for that. and actually do stuff with them.
Yeah.
I could buy a ton of musical equipment for that kind of money. I could buy I could build a new computer for that amount of money.
Yeah.
That, oh my God, $800 plus tax.
Yep.
Oh.
And then you got to put it together.
Yeah, that's that. Anyway.
So yeah. But yeah, the sail barge was quite impressive. Like I said, if I had the space for it, I'd probably grab one and then just grab some figures and just set up whatnot. But again,
you need a trophy case.
You kind
of have
space
one.
for it.
Yeah.
The case I have would not fit this.
Wow.
It is
it's that big. Well, Job is a big guy.
That little entertainment cabinet I have in front of my television in the living room?
Yes.
If I put it on there, it would block the lower half of the television.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but if anyone's in the area and wants to check out this shop, it's really cool. They got a lot of cool stuff there. It's That 80s Toy Shop. It's located at 645 Delaware Street in Tonawanda, New York, 14150. Their phone number there is 716-389-3007. They've got a really awesome selection of collectible stuff, vintage stuff, and modern stuff. I believe they have a website, that80stoyshop.com, and a Twitter at that80stoyshop, the number 8. And looks like letter O, or what do you think there? It's on the bottom.
That's a 0.
0?
Yep, that 80s toy shop.
Yep. Okay, cool. So, but yeah, grab some stuff, and we're going to be sending a box to Mr. Dan Larson.
Oh, spoilers.
His appreciation. I didn't say what I'm putting in the box.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's very generous with his time, but I also don't think he listens to the show. So
he's a busy guy.
He is a busy guy. He's got a great channel. They're doing awesome things. I think that pretty much does it for my weeks. That's
right.
Like the most noticeable stuff. Got my Avengers tickets.
Yes, as did I.
Yes. So we'll be going the Sunday afternoon.
I'll be going Saturday.
Yep.
And I will not talk to you until after your showing.
Yo, I got I originally got Tuesday afternoon, and I was kind of excited because it's Tuesday, it's a bit of a wait. But we got the RPX theater, best seats in the theater. I told Julie that, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll be traveling for work that day." So some expletives were texted, and then I was fortunate enough to be able to get back in and get Sunday afternoon.
Plus, wait until Tuesday would kill you.
Yes, it would.
Spoilers would be all over the place.
Yes. That was my weeks. Dear listeners, if you would like to tell us about your weeks, if you'd like to send us any questions or comments to be read on the show, you can do so at the following locations. You can go to Twitter and follow us at Devils Do Pod. You can go to facebook.com/devilsdopod and like our page. You can email us at thedevilsdopod@gmail.com, or you can find all these resources available to you on our website, thedevilsdopodcast.com. Drew, that being said, we do have some emails to catch up on.
All right.
Now, granted, these are emails from the past 2 weeks, so I don't know how these questions, how current they are and whatnot. So, first up from Mr. Cyrus Moore, frequent contributor to the show. Greetings, gentlemen. Hope you are well. I must confess I have missed several of your episodes as I made the decision to binge audiobooks of the entire Song of Ice and Fire series as I wait for the final season of Game of Thrones that's coming soon. As I have now finished the books, I'm back to enjoying your fine program. Well, we appreciate that, Cyrus. To my question, I have often heard people talk about the differences between the Game of Thrones TV show and their source material. It's very common for this to happen in many adaptations, but experiencing it for myself, the differences are quite stark. See what he did there. My question for both of you is, what are some of your favorite changes that have been made adapting movies or TV shows from their source material, be it comics or novels? Also, what are some of your least favorite?
Oh, boy.
I think one of my favorites was the change they made in Avengers Infinity War to Thanos' motivation.
Okay.
In the Infinity Gauntlet books, the comic books, his motivation was to win the heart of Death.
Yes.
Lady Death.
Yes.
And everything he did was to woo her. And the way they changed it in Infinity War, I felt was better.
Okay. Let me think. Well, let's do some bad ones. I like bad stuff. I like bad ones.
Bad stuff.
Man of Steel, basically, as a whole. I was never into Jack Napier being the Joker and also having killed Batman's parents.
Yeah, that wasn't great. Though,
great performance and everything.
Related,
yes.
Those films are coming. Fathom's doing those films.
Oh, man.
And I'm definitely going to see the first one.
I would probably go see the first one in the theater.
Maybe the second one.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe the second one.
First one for sure.
But they're also doing Batman Forever and Batman.
No,
which I don't get.
No.
Well, they probably know people will go for the schlock and to make fun of it.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I could do that at home with beer.
So, yeah. But yeah, no, definitely making the Joker the one who killed Bruce's parents.
Nah, I'm not a fan of that.
That was, you know what that was? That was kind of the beginning of the it's all connected problem.
Yeah, and now that's pervasive now.
Yeah.
In a lot of media. Favorite changes. Good. Let me think of some good stuff. There's probably some MCU ones that I'm like perfectly fine with, and
yeah. I mean, I was never crazy about the organic web shooters in the Sam Raimi.
They didn't bother
Spider-Man
me,
movies,
but I would have preferred the mechanical. Boy, oh boy. Trying to think of some good changes. It's hard because, like, you
know what I used to be okay with? That the film has recently had its 10-year anniversary, and someone was talking about it on a podcast I listened to, and they put it in a way that kind of changed my opinion on it, was how they kind of changed the ending of Watchmen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Here's why I don't like that change. If they changed it...
Well, hold on a second. Before you get too into it...
Okay.
I had thought... I actually mentioned to talk to you about this before the show. I think next week we should do a Watchmen episode.
Oh, God.
Book, the film, because like we're at the... the 10-year anniversary of the films recently. We're coming up on HBO series. Let's do a Watchmen episode next week.
I don't want to dwell in Zack Snyder land anymore, man. I thought I put that to bed last week. I don't want to talk about this man anymore.
It's not the Watchmen the film episode. It's as a whole.
He's part of the whole, unfortunately. And idiot fans that still think that he did a good job. Missed the point, dude.
So, but yeah.
Anyway, good. I'm blanking. I'm totally blank. I'm sorry. I don't have anything good.
What about some of the questionable changes in the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah, let's. That's a fever dream right there. Oh my Lord. So yeah, good changes are few and far between. I feel like some we live with more than others.
Yeah.
And put it this way, anything in Iron Man, I'm generally okay with because his origin is so fluid as it is. Given it's his original comic book origin is so tied to Vietnam.
They just kind of updated the war.
You kind of have to update that. So
that's kind of what
handled
they
that
do
pretty gracefully
with Iron Man and the Punisher in the comics. They always just kind of update the war.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. I think they've handled that pretty well. Think of other Marvel flicks that they've been pretty faithful overall. And any changes they have made have been, mostly, I don't want to say for the better, but acceptable. Not egregiously different. So, yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
It's fine. I always, you know what? I mean, the original Jurassic Park film.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes. Did you read the book, though?
The book.
Way different.
I would love to see a film adaptation of the book.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be a much different movie.
Yes.
A lot more going on, and John Hammond is not a nice old man. He's
no.
kind of a jerk.
Yes.
I think he gets eaten by dinosaurs.
Many people get eaten by dinosaurs.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
Okay, so Cyrus, thank you very much for your questions. Now on to I've got no quippy joke for them. Mr. J. Gelsomino, Mr. Alan Waiters, starring with Mr. Alan Waiters. Drew and Carl, being the 80th anniversary of Detective Comics 27, what is your favorite Batman story? Why has Batman been a fan favorite for such a long time? Did you get Detective 1000?
No.
I did.
Okay.
Good.
Good.
It was good. The Kevin Smith story?
Yeah.
Really good.
Good.
Really, like,
did
I know
Batman pee his
Alan...
pants?
No, he didn't.
Oh, good.
No, he didn't.
Good.
Yeah,
That's good.
It was legitimately a really good story. Essentially, the story was like, and it basically just, it was a 96-page issue.
Yeah, just
To which I
stories in
said,
it.
to which I said, we couldn't get 4 more pages in there, just make it an even 100. Yeah, there were just like a couple page stories from, Batman contributors throughout history. The Kevin Smith story, Jim Lee did the art, and it was really cool because it was about how Bruce finally reacquires the gun that Joe Chill used to murder his parents, and Alfred is questioning, like, why do you want this thing back? But, like, it just seems too much to display it in the cave. And Bruce is like, I'm not going to display it. And it's kind of like he's narrating what he's doing while you're seeing, like, different scenes of the purpose this thing ultimately serves. And what he does is he melts the gun down and makes it as the protective plate that goes behind the bat symbol.
That's cute.
What?
It's fine. It's a little on the nose, but it's good. It's a good little spin there.
It's a good story. All right. So yeah. Favorite Batman story.
I mean, it's like almost anyone you could pick is going to be kind of cliche because Batman's so mythic. But I'm a big fan. Year one is year one. It's
Yep.
a classic. And if I had top of my head, the one that kind of gives me the most feels, probably the Grey Ghost episode of the animated series.
Yeah.
And those would be my top 2.
Yeah.
Those come to mind immediately. I don't know why.
For me, Dark Knight Returns is number 1. I've said numerous times that, like, if a person wanted to get into comics and I could only give them one story to read, it would be that. Some other ones of note. Year one's great. Heart of Ice.
Sure.
Heart of Ice. Like so many of the animated series stories. Death in the Family, I think, was done really well.
Yeah, okay.
When you get away from the
shock factor,
the shock factor and the campaign and whatnot.
Yeah, right. That's what I meant.
It was done well. Court of Owls.
Yeah, Court of Owls
was good.
Is
great. It gave us, I think it ranks, if not in the top 5, definitely in the top 10.
It was all downhill after that for Snyder, but yeah.
Death of the Family was good.
Oh, I don't know.
Didn't 100% stick the landing, but definitely after Death of the Family, it was rapidly down.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as why the character has endured, I think it ultimately comes down to the relatability.
He's got a relatable origin, and I think the character has proven over time to be very flexible.
Yes.
We've had dark, and that seems to be the winning embodiment of the character is the dark grim Avenger. But we've also had the campy takes, and we've had the detective take, and we've had the more superheroic take, and it all kind of works.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do with Batman, you kind of can. And his core relatability kind of makes that happen.
Yeah. The character has gone through so many variations from what his core concept that, Bill Finger kind of put down.
But it all still works.
When you juxtapose that to like Superman, who, yes, has gone through some character changes over the years, but not as drastic as Batman.
No, he's generally been well, he was a little edgier and don't misinterpret that word. He was a little more feisty in his initial appearances in the first couple of years.
Batman or Superman?
Superman. And then since then, the Boy Scout persona has been that's been Superman.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder aside.
Yeah.
Just can't escape this guy.
Well, he's had an impact, for better or for worse. He's had an impact.
I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, Batman is my second favorite character in comics behind Spider-Man, and I think that's the thing that kind of keeps those two near and dear to my heart is the relatability of both characters. Like, it's, what, and I'm sure, the Joker film that we're going to discuss, the trailer news, is really going to broach, like, how do you react to that one bad day? How do you react to tragedy? What do you allow it to do to you? How do you allow it to affect you? And you have Bruce and Peter made their choices, and other characters made choices that went other ways. And I think it's just the character's resilience and just willingness to never stop, despite what Chris Nolan might say. Yeah, I think we've had 80 years of Batman and Superman. A couple more years, we'll have had 80 years of Wonder Woman. So in our lifetime, we're going to see these. I mean, we're going to see these characters hit a century old.
If we live that long, yes.
Yeah. You probably got better odds than I do.
I don't know. Keep getting these damn colds.
So, yeah. Okay, Carl, would you invite Nate Lockhart on the show to discuss Shazam, the movie? Would you also discuss the history of Shazam and the history of Captain Marvel, both Danvers and Marvel? I feel, given Nate's love for that character, given what Nate's show generally kind of does, it would be better suited for his show. Not that we wouldn't want Nate back on the show.
Right.
We love Nate. We're big fans.
Yes.
But Nate loves Shazam.
Okay.
And I actually asked him, I'm like, do you want to go see it? And he promised his wife that, they would go see it for a date night. And I was like, I really wanted to see it with him. But yeah, I'm definitely down for any time talking about the Big Red Cheese. I love that character. I'm glad that the movie's doing well, as we'll discuss in the news. But yeah, I think history of the DC Captain Marvel, aka Shazam. Probably Nate could probably do that much better than we could.
He probably will.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he will. Drew. And given again, this is 3 weeks old at this point.
Okay.
Nintendo has once again outdone itself with last week's Nintendo Direct. Why do you think indie games are taking a shining to the Switch, and what is driving developers to choose Switch over Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation?
The form factor, man. It's just I've said it before. It's pick up and play wherever you are, and it delivers that in spades. The immediacy of it is not to be discounted. Like you dock it, it's on your TV. You pick it up, It's right there. You drop it into the home screen, and you can pause any game anywhere you are in the game, regardless, and pick it right back up. Push the home button again, and you're back where you left off.
Yeah.
This is going to sound really corny and like Apple-esque, and I hate Apple. So but the fact is, it just works. It does what it's supposed to do as promised. So
I think it's also fair to mention a lot of these developers are not choosing Switch exclusively.
No,
a lot of these games are also available on like Steam, PlayStation.
They are, but
Xbox,
they're finding a new life on Switch. Though.
Yeah, definitely.
And some of these games are getting ported over from Steam, and they're taking on a whole new life on the Switch because people maybe didn't find them on Steam, but they find them on Switch. Yeah, it's cool. I talked about this on the last episode.
Yes. Alan, thank you very much for your questions. Now on to Mr. J. Gelsomino. Drew and Carl, given the dumpster that is emanating heat continues to burn brightly at Warner Brothers, what actual path would you take to fixing this whole duffel bag of parvo-ridden puppies called the DC Cinematic Universe?
I think I addressed this last week too. They clearly have botched the job on the universe aspect.
Yeah.
So you know what? Don't be Marvel.
Yeah.
Just do your thing and make each movie you want, however you want to make it.
Yep.
And if they happen to coincide, cool. If not, that's fine too.
Don't put them in the same universe, but don't feel the need to always connect them.
I don't even know if you have to put them in the same universe anymore. Like, if you have a unique take and you want to make a movie, I think just do it.
Yeah.
And Marvel's got the whole universe thing down.
Yeah.
They got that on lockdown. Don't worry about them. Just do your thing. And it seems like that's the direction they're going.
Yeah.
With some limited connectivity, but as we'll talk about with the Joker trailer, not necessarily all connected.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And we've always said in the past, we want the DC films to be good. And
whatever they can do to get them there.
Recently, they've been trending upwards.
Yes, they have.
I think, like you said, don't worry about it being connected universe. I think if you wanted to take another crack at the connected universe, you need a point of view character. And I think a really good character for that role to be the audience point of view into this universe and kind of bring all these other characters together is Martian Manhunter.
That's weird. That's an interesting point of view character, given that he's, an alien.
Yeah, exactly. His point of view is going to be unique in that he's working from a different perspective. You have a refugee story in there, and you have like kind of finding his place in the world. And as he moves through different stories, like you introduce these other characters, you don't have to worry about doing origin stories. And he can be the one that kind of brings everything together.
Okay.
I think it'd be really interesting to go that route. Drew, what is one concert you wish you attended in the past? This can be either due to your not being born at the time or just something that prevented you from going.
Before I was born, it's very few I could. I don't know. But in my lifetime, there have been ones that have gotten away. The biggest ones that I can name off the top of my head would be Metallica '94 at Darien Lake. My mom wouldn't let me go, but that was a big show, and I wasn't allowed to go. I was very sad. So that's one, and then the other one being Woodstock '94. I wish I could have been there for that because, again, Metallica played, and the Nine Inch Nails performance is stuff of legend. So,
were you at the Metallica Guns N' Roses show?
No,
at the stadium.
I was not. That one I could take. I don't want to say take or leave, but I'm less. I would be less interested in that one, than the Darien Lake show.
I think mine would be Queen in Wembley Stadium.
Okay. I mean, there's there's so many shows I've watched or listened to by so many bands. I go on YouTube all the time now and just look up whatever band I can think of live. And sometimes I'll put a year in, like an era. Yep. And sure, it would have been great to have been at any one of those. But top of my head, those are the ones that got away from me that I wish I could have saw. And I wish I could have seen Typo Negative live in any capacity while Peter Steele was still alive. So, alas, I got into them after he had already passed away. So, bummer.
Okay, so Jay's question for me, I'm just going to kind of zip right through because we're going kind of long here.
That's
folks.
okay. We're back.
Carl, are you comfortable working home GIs since I visited your classroom? This is basically a work question.
Yes.
I will simply say, Jay, yes, I am.
Okay.
Fun times. Jay, thank you very much for your questions. We appreciate them. Now on to the news. We got some news to talk about.
Let's go.
As we mentioned, Shazam, the film, is out and apparently doing quite well.
Weird.
Reviews are glowing, and the sequel has already been greenlit, apparently.
Yep.
It's making money, which, say what you will about the DC films, they've never had a problem making money.
Except Justice League.
Justice League still made money, just not a lot of it.
It made the least amount of money out of all of that. That's so insane.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I'm really glad to see this. This is a character I love, and I'm really excited to go see the movie at some point. Would you, given the opportunity, because, that dad life can be very consuming.
Oh, it sure can.
Given the opportunity, would you go see the film in theaters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've heard it's good by a lot of people.
All right. Cool. Now this is going to be kind of difficult to talk about because both you and I have not seen the entirety of the first one.
Okay.
But we got a trailer for Cobra Kai Season 2.
Yes.
This past
week. We did.
Even not having seen the first season completely, like they've put the first couple episodes up for free, and I watched those. Even not having seen the entirety of the first season, I watched this trailer. I'm like, oh, that looks good.
It shouldn't be this good.
It has no right to be that good.
But it is.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That looks so awesome.
Kreese is back.
Oh, my. If Terry Silver shows up, I might lose my mind.
Was he the guy from 3?
Yes.
No.
Is 3 good? No. But is that guy a totally hammed up actor? Yes.
We don't need not Steven Seagal in this role.
Oh, I think we do. Bring him back. Yeah. Oh my God. It looks so cool. It looks so good. Who knew that we needed a Karate Kid universe in our lives? But here we are.
And it, like, I think we're just going to have to one day get together and just knock them both out of the park.
Seasons?
Yeah.
I think actually starting on Mondays, we're going to start watching them. Our friend Steve he actually has a YouTube Red subscription.
Oh,
he held out on this information from us for months. It came up last night. He's like, oh, by the way, I have a subscription. We should just watch it. I'm like, why did you just watch it? Well, where was this information last year when the show came out?
Steve Bajak?
Yeah.
Steve.
So, yeah, I'm excited. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Let me know when that's happening.
Yes.
I would very much like to partake. Okay, so Kevin Feige's been doing some talking, as he wants to do, especially seeing as there's a very big film on the horizon.
Yeah. That's an understatement.
This could be the one that breaks $1 billion domestically.
Yeah, probably will.
I don't want to say probably will, because that's a lofty goal.
Let's see what they got.
He has been talking recently, and he has said that the X-Men, as of now, do not factor into Marvel's post-Endgame plans.
Not the immediate plans.
Not the immediate plans. And from what he said, I think they have the next 5 years planned out.
I mean, I'm
okay with this. If this is what's going to be, I'm okay with this, because I've said for a long time, if and when they get them back, and they've gotten them back, put them on the shelf for a while.
That's fine. No, you're right.
Let the stink blow off.
You're totally right. But number one, as I learn with each passing year, 5 years isn't that long.
No, it isn't.
Number two, we've also seen Marvel's plans change, sometimes rather drastically, rather quickly.
Yes.
So we don't necessarily know that that's going to be the case. For all we know, Someone might come up with an angle and says, you know what? In this next movie that is not the X-Men, mind you, I want to introduce this character. And it happens to be an X-Man of some kind.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, people get fired up, and it turns the page, and now we have to do the X-Men.
Yep.
We'll see. I mean, I have to imagine Kevin Feige's thinking like you, though. We're going to let this brand kind of breathe a little bit.
Yes.
So everyone can kind of forget. Not necessarily
to blow off.
Not necessarily that the. I like the. You mentioned the stink, and yes, we joke about that, but I think the movies have made enough money with enough people to where, like, clearly they don't mind the stink necessarily, which is sad.
The studios don't. I mean, clearly some of the actors kind of want to be, like, over and done with.
Yes. But, like, I think in the public consciousness, though, like, we want to. Kevin Feige probably wants to distance himself from.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Patrick Stewart is Professor X. You know what I mean? Like that kind of, that kind of iconic status or whatever that those characters have in people's minds. Give it some time, and then we're going to bring them back and refresh them.
Yeah, I mean, as much as it does not look great, I still would not be opposed to going to see Dark Phoenix, only because to see the end of what began everything we're in now. Not so much the proper beginning to the MCU, but the pebble that began the avalanche that made the MCU possible.
Blade got X-Men made.
Everybody says Blade, but Blade was first. Yes.
Blade got X-Men made.
First. If
Blade doesn't hit, they don't spend the money on X-Men.
Blade got X-Men made. Everything you're saying is right. I'm not disagreeing with anything. I'm not besmirching Blade at all.
And then X-Men, in a way, begat Spider-Man.
X-Men, when
X-Men made money...
When Blade's first weekend box office came in...
Yes.
Nobody went crazy trying to option any comic book property they could.
No.
When X-Men's first weekend box office came in, that's when everything really started.
Sure.
Like, that's when, like, all the stuff got put into, okay, now we're actually going to... Yes, X-Men begat Spider-Man, and Spider-Man showed that there's, like, legitimate big bank to make in these films. And then that leads to, Batman
Ghost Rider.
Begins. Well, there's still some misfires in there. But that leads to a lot of stuff. So I kind of want to see how the final chapter, as much as I don't expect it to be good, I still want to finish the book.
You can let me know how it goes. I'm good.
I know. Okay, so last news story of the week.
Yes.
We got our first trailer for the Joker movie. Now, Drew,
yes,
I'll be freely willing to admit eating crow on this. I never thought this movie was actually going to happen.
Yeah, it kind of snuck up on us.
It's still not in theaters yet.
No.
And Warner Brothers being Warner Brothers, stuff can happen. But this trailer was an unexpected surprise.
It's a good way to put it. I'm not going head over heels like some people seem to be about it. But it's interesting.
Yes.
I was going to say in a good way. It's interesting.
If this was all I saw of it, I would buy a ticket to go watch it.
Sure. No, it's got my attention. What I fear is what I always fear about the Joker.
Yeah.
When you give him a definitive origin, you take away his mystery and you take away his power.
You limit him.
Right. And this seems to be not only giving him a definitive origin, but also making him somewhat sympathetic. Like he's kind of this picked on put upon guy that eventually in the movie snaps. Now, granted, you or I would not go on a murderous rampage. That's just not our MO. But when the audience sees what this guy goes through, they understand.
Yeah.
So there's a degree of sympathy being introduced to the character, and I think that's walking a fine line.
And I think the trick of the film would be to make the character so that you feel sympathetic for him, but then
a line is crossed.
Yeah, cross a line, and then that sympathy is removed.
Yes.
He becomes what he is. My concerns lie in that it's very difficult. I don't want to say I don't think the Joker doesn't work without Batman because of what the two represent to each other.
Sure.
So it's not that I want to see Batman per se in the film, but I don't want him to be in a world that it does not have Batman yet.
I think that's what you're getting, dude.
Like I almost just want Batman to be like throwaway lines here and there, urban legend, like.
You're considering that Thomas Wayne is a figure in this film. You're pipe dreaming.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So yeah, this is kind of what we talked about. This might be. I mean, if this is the way they have to do their movies to kind of get things interesting and tell new stories,
yeah,
I'm willing to watch. I feel you in that, you know, where there's the Joker, there's got to be Batman. But at the same time, you know what? Tell me your story.
Yeah.
Your last attempt at the Joker did not work out.
No.
So show me what you got here. And let's see what, I mean, you know what this actually does for me? It makes me want to see a late 70s, early 80s Batman movie.
Yes.
I want to see Batman kick in the door at Studio 54 and just like beat up some disco dancers.
I want to see Batman in the gray and the blue.
Yes.
Blue.
Yes.
Yellow oval around the bat. Give me that 70s Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil.
Yes. You are speaking my language.
Batman.
I rather like Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. I'll tell you that much.
Like
the aesthetic is cool.
Yeah, he works.
He looks pretty unnerving. And he looks sickly in this movie.
Yeah, dude. Like at first I thought it was CGI, but then I remembered he goes like
he's going the Bale method. Bale and the Machinist. Huh? Yeah, he looks creepy.
So yeah, I'm so far what I've seen of it. It has my attention and my interest.
Okay.
Hopefully now they just won't screw it up. Robert De Niro's in the freaking movie.
Yeah.
So strange.
What a time to be alive.
So strange.
All right.
All right. That just about does it for the news, unless there's anything you can think of, sir.
No, I'm good.
Drew, it is time to rustle the papers.
It's been a while.
And it has been a while. Drew, we only got 2 more paper rustles after this one.
Okay.
Then it's the end of a very big chapter for this show.
Yeah.
And we move on to different things. Not quite sure what yet, but different things. But we're still going to have fun doing it. All right, Daredevil, episode 11. This episode is titled Reunion. Now, there's a couple big things I want to talk about in this episode.
Okay.
The first one is the question of killing.
Yes.
Because we see that in this episode, Matt is still set on his path of killing Fisk.
Yeah, and that's really the crux of the episode, really, because, dude, my big note was just like, so wait, you're gonna, what did you learn nothing from season 2?
Well, I mean, in season 1 and season 2, Matt has faith in the system.
Yes.
And the system works in season 1 and season 2. Matt has had a building dropped on him.
Yeah.
And he has seen that the system can be corrupted.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that he feels that there is no other way to end this than to kill him. And he's made peace with the fact that, this is the path that his life has been set on, and this is the only way out of it, even though I feel deep down he doesn't want to, but he also feels like he has no other option.
Yeah, that's fair. Still, I mean, for a guy that was so regimented and steadfast in his belief,
yeah,
that he's come that he's come this far is it's sad. Like
yeah.
it's sad.
I think one real missed opportunity of this season, and I don't quite understand how you would do it and make it work, is a Frank Castle appearance.
Yeah. Where was Frank when all this was going down?
He was in group. He was showing his feelings in group.
I still haven't watched that, by the way.
Season 2?
Yeah, I haven't. I don't feel the need.
You're fine.
Okay, cool. All right.
No, I would watch it. Form your own opinion.
I don't have time. I have no time for that.
But yeah, because we see, like you said, in season 2, there's that scene on the rooftop. It's almost Shakespearean.
Yeah, totally.
The fight that's taking place without a single punch being thrown is incredible.
You can thank Garth Ennis for that, man.
Just this battle of philosophies, and a lot to quote the dude, new stuff has come to light, man. So the question of killing is really addressed in this episode, and
well, yeah. Meanwhile, Fisk is just killing people left and right.
Well, he's Fisk. Don't lend him your coat.
No.
No. But at the same time, I feel that this episode also, another thing I want to talk about, this episode shows that Fisk still has some humanity left to him, especially when it comes to the meeting about the painting.
Okay. Yeah, go on. So he wants his painting back.
Yes. The rabbit in the snow.
Now,
it's called.
If I'm not mistaken, it's in the possession of a Holocaust survivor?
Yeah, yes.
Dude, let him have it.
Yeah, it was
let it go,
acquired. it was acquired by the Nazis.
Yeah.
Acquired being a very tame word.
Yes.
And the woman who's telling the tale, I think they could have cast her a little bit older. But yeah, she's telling this tale, and we see how much damage has been done, how much damage she's endured because of those events. And Fisk, who is not accustomed to not getting what he wants, relents.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was the woman comparing him to a Nazi. Because she says, I know who you are and I know what you're capable of. You're another wolf. And it was the wolves at the door who took the painting the first time. And so I think that gave him a real momentary gut check. And again, just to show the genius of D'Onofrio's performance.
Well, that and the script, obviously.
The script. And also there's the scene where, Fisk is doing the press conference.
Yeah.
And it's like he's he shows how scary Trump would really be if he had a brain.
I have that in my notes. It's a very Trump-esque speech he drops.
It's a very Trump-esque speech, but unlike when
except Fisk is competent.
Yes, unlike when the orange buffoon opens his mouth, like Fisk is compelling and confident and
and capable,
and he quiets and wins a hostile crowd.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously we got 2 episodes left. I'm looking at my notes. Like a lot of other stuff that kind of went on this episode just seemed to be kind of like, I don't want to say fluff, but
moving the plot along.
But I think like
it's how they're gonna bust Fisk for real, and Nadeem is involved, and my thoughts on that character are kind of well told. I'm just like, this guy's such a twerp. He's such a dude. You're being had the whole season. It's fine.
He got played,
but he's the ace in the hole.
Yes.
So we'll see how that. And Matt comes to the rescue
and takes his mask off.
Yeah. He's putting trust.
Yeah, trust, and you know what? Part of me just thinks he doesn't care. That's
definite. Matt is intent. Matt is done with the law. His conversation with Foggy basically says, like, I'm done with the law. Foggy still believes. Foggy's staying true to the system. Again, Foggy being like the moral center of the whole Daredevil universe.
Foggy's kind of like the hope.
Yeah.
It's funny that I think this season Matt is finally the person that Stick always wanted him to be.
Yeah,
but
kinda.
Foggy kind of kept him grounded in Matt Murdock, kept him centered.
Sure.
And it wasn't until like those distractions that came in that kind of pulled him away from that. Elektra, to a point, Karen, the hand, the war with the hand, everything that happened. Like once we see when Foggy is reintroduced and we see, Nelson and Murdoch kind of be reformed, that partnership, we see Matt kind of going back and relenting on something he's clearly made up his mind to do.
Yeah.
Just a great episode. We got 2 episodes left.
2 to go.
2 to go. Anything else you got on this episode?
No. We were on the same page for a lot of this.
Yeah, it's really, really quality.
I will miss it.
Yeah.
I do miss it.
Yeah. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us here on Devil's Due. We appreciate you joining us as always. And as always, if you would like to send us any questions or comments to be read on the show, reach out to us on social media. You can do so at the following locations. You can follow us on Twitter at Devil's Due Pod. You can like our page on Facebook at facebook.com/Devil's Due Pod. You can email us at thedevilsdupod@gmail.com, or you can find all these resources available to you on our website, thedevilsdupodcast.com. Drew, that being said, any last words?
Get your vitamin C, kids. And even though it's out of season, come the fall, get your flu shot.
Yep. So yeah, it's good to be back. Good to get back in the rhythm of things.
The saddle and whatnot.
Yep. And we will hopefully, illness barring, see you all again next week. Till then, court is adjourned.